Hi everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoy our shows, please like our videos and subscribe to our channel. And remember to hit the bell for notifications. And you can support us via PayPal, Patreon, Bitcoin, and through our website, ageoftruth.tv.
Hello everyone and welcome to this Christmas and New Year's special edition of Age of Truth TV. I'm Lucas Alexander in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's December 2020 and it's Christmas, and very shortly we will see the end of this extremely unforgettable year 2020. We've been encouraged by many of you, our wonderful viewers, to do a kind of Christmas and New Year's speech with some thoughts and of course a personal view from me in regards to the world situation from our point of view at Age of Truth TV about the unforgettable year we have had so far, now seen in retrospect. I feel that it's very difficult to say anything new about the year 2020 because we have already dedicated and devoted this year to the truth of what is actually going on in the world in regards to this pandemic. We've done what we can to shine the light into the darkness of this global chaos that we are all facing and that we've been forced to take part in, whether we wanted to or not. I don't think anybody was prepared for this, and I highly doubt that anyone could have imagined how mad the situation would get, and even how mad people would get at each other. The battle has not just been between the state and the people. No, because most people have already rolled over flat on their backs, like surrendering puppy dogs, begging their government to bring on more restrictions, and they have complied to unprecedented measures and regulations. But the battle has mostly been between the people. A global alienation, enslavement of individuality, personality, and your own personal rights. Social distancing on all levels. That has been the real battle between you and your neighbor, even family members and people, strangers you don't even know, who has felt the need to open their mouths and spew out the devil's venom. Not the deceiving kind of devil's venom that can taste sweet like vanilla if gift wrapped and with a golden ribbon, metaphorically speaking, of course. No, on the contrary, we are talking about stories we've heard where people have acted without filter towards other people, feeling entitled to be disrespectful, snitching, mocking, bullying, and obsessed, fear-possessed people, taking on the role as the better-than-thou, good, obedient citizen who obey their rulers while aggressively putting others down, who dares to question the official narrative, who dares to stand up for themselves and for the rights of all humanity, as we have been facing the control system tightening their steel claws on the population in most countries to impose their globalization agenda, the planetary takeover through their New World Order UN Agenda 21 global government plan. A plan so old that it's not the new world order, but the old world order. It's getting really tiring. Nothing we've seen so far this year in regards to the restrictions has really made any sense. Nothing is logical. It's not even very well thought out. And yet still people have believed it, and still do. They fear death so much that what they actually really fear is to live. The media repeaters, not reporters, are repeating the political agenda as fact over and over again, and the politicians are getting their orders through the so-called hidden hand and secret societies. We've covered it all and so much more on our channel, and in spite of challenging times with shadow banning, ghosting and censorship like never before, we continue to work for the truth, nothing but the truth, because we know, like so many of you out there, that the truth is out there, as Agent Mulder always said in the X-Files. Whether or not people believe the official narrative of the virus, or if it's an orchestrated, arranged, lab-made virus, then let's ask ourselves the question, why haven't we seen far greater disaster and deaths? Real numbers, real statistics. We must assume that if all of what they're trying so desperately to tell us and make us believe, if that was true, then millions, countless humans would have lost their lives, right? Or gotten ill from it. Because how can you contain something that contagious? Wouldn't it spread widely and all over? But for most people, they hear more about it than they actually see and experience it themselves. And all of those who say that they have lost loved ones to COVID-19, whether or not they already had terminal illnesses prior to that, we all know that a regular seasonal flu can cause deaths to those who are already really ill. But for all of those who has gone through the sadness of losing a loved one, we can only say that we are deeply sorry, and we send them our most heartfelt condolences. So what we really have to focus on at the moment, right now, especially during this holiday season, is the coming year 2021 and everything ahead of us from now on. We are at a very extraordinary, unforgettable, memorable, unfathomable, and challenging place on this particular timeline, in this particular dimension, in the universe, in fact, in the multiverse. We can only wonder what the situation is like on other timelines, in other dimensions, perhaps in other versions of planet Earth, occupying almost the same space, but vibrating on another frequency. Can we imagine a world full of love, prosperity, unity, and a collective sense of togetherness and awareness, where our pineal glands are fully functional, activated to its maximum, if possible, and connected to our hearts, the heart chakra, the frequency of the heart, the strongest frequency, law of attraction, the inner power plant that can actually move objects potentially. Imagine a place where energy, frequency, and vibration are the tools humans can use, like what we supposedly were able to during the ancient times, before the dark times, supposedly before many of the dark entities came into this realm and manipulated the collective consciousness and created the power regimes that we know today. But the power of imagination is strong. We all know that just in our daily lives. But there are many people who call the growing number of truth seekers out there for conspiracy theorists in a most condescending way. And they all say that they have a crazy, wild imagination when they question things you either can't see or that are hidden from us, some even in plain sight. Phenomena and topics that question official science, the political party system, and the whole financial work hard and earn your living and pay your taxes money game. These logical humans who have been educated by academia become a product of the system, or simply follow the road laid before them by others. They do not think it's logical to question all of the things that we're told are facts, or even more outrageous, talk about all of those otherworldly aspects connecting to other solar systems and galaxies, about life on other planets, extraterrestrial entities, UFOs, elusive shadow beings, and interdimensional light beings, as well as demonic, archontic, vampiric predators. But let's play with a thought here, which I know will be quite confrontational for a lot of viewers, especially on our channel and shows like ours. What if everything, the mainstream media, all of the politicians, all of the scientists, all of history, all of biology, including germ theory, geography, and the entire nature of reality, how it is presented to all of us through the educational system and academia. Imagine if all of it is true. Let's think about that for a moment. No, on second thought, let's not go back to where we came from, okay? Let's continue on the road that we're already on and focus on where we will have to go to in the future, because there's still so much more to discover, many more revelations still to come and to see the light of day. There's so much knowledge still to acquire. And yes, there are quite a few egos out there, the self-assured know-it-all types who can tell you what you need to know. Because, why? Well, because they know it. Well, even they might be in for quite a surprise if they only knew how much more we can and eventually will expand our awareness on a massive scale, even more than any of us can imagine. If it doesn't happen in this life, perhaps it will happen in the next, if we decide to return to this place again. But even that may be a choice for those enlightened enough to understand how to work with their consciousness and get out of the matrix at the point of death. Hopefully, it is true that we have a choice, even when we're not here physically any longer. We are going through some incredible and amazing changes at the moment. This may actually be 2012, and astrologically, we have now entered the age of Aquarius, the age of awareness, the age of enlightenment, the age of truth. Future generations will look upon this era that we're in at this very moment as the distant past, a time so unevolved, where people were so unaware, so easily controlled, so brainwashed by the outside world around them. This may be how future generations of a highly enlightened nature will perceive this distant past timeline we are now operating on at the moment. Let's hope that the future will not be an artificial one, where our minds, consciousness, and our physical brains are linked to a super brain, a universal computer, artificial intelligence, and mind control kill grid, a thought police greater than anything George Orwell or Aldous Huxley could have imagined or written. Then this distant past will be a timeline of envy, a time when people experienced individual thoughts, where we could love and embrace each other, have a life made up of our own decisions, individual freedom, and the right to choose what and who we wanted to be. Even those of us who are considered to be different from the norm or different from most other people, we were able to choose because our souls spoke to us through our body vehicle. Our consciousness created the life we were living, whether good or bad, easy or complicated, but it was our path, not an artificial robotic path. And yet so many, for so many decades, have been living a rather robotic life, working hard, very hard, for small money, a low income, working from 9 to 5 every day to survive. Because human beings have to pay a very, very, very high price to live on this planet. Because it's not a free world. This is a slave system, a slave planet. And we are a slave race, but not our souls and not our consciousness. So we can break free if we understand that we can. This vibrational change has been coming for a long time, and you are part of it. Even if this time is particularly difficult in regards to friends, family, loved ones who may see the world very differently from you. The time is right for you now not to fight those you love. Maybe you can't even wake them up. Maybe their path is a different one. But if you do have a heart-based connection with those people close to you, then you can work through love and kindness instead. We all need your spirit and your truth-seeking soul fire in the time to come for something else, to change the world for the better, to create awareness, hopefully in the best possible way, and to raise the frequency of those who can break out of the old paradigm, of those who do have the key to open the gates of a new understanding. But there are some people who appear somewhat to be stuck on a certain level, and I don't say that to be disrespectful. I'm simply trying to come to terms with it myself and to encourage everyone else to not to try too hard to change them in vain where your energy is wasted. That will lead to too much fighting and confrontation. Perhaps there are many of you out there who've also had the feeling that you're living in a parallel universe, especially this year. You look out of the window and you see the parallel dimension, but you're not really part of it. You see all the muscled faces, the covered heads, wearing blue face masks so that you can't really hear what people are saying or see their smiles or see an individual, a personality. It's too easy to become socially distanced to someone that you can't see, like a religious habit and attire that you wear to cover up what you really look like. And for what reason? If you do your research, you will know that it's not for the reason that they're telling you. It's time now to stand in our truth, to be brave, to be strong. Try not to let this conflict get us down, because otherwise they have won. We know what we need to do. We know that we need all of the strength that we have in the times ahead. But let's not dwell on the negative. Let's face it head on and understand that you're not alone. We are not alone. This may actually be a blessing in disguise, but I believe it's a blessing. Those who love you will stay with you, and you will stay with them. And those who do not need to be with you anymore, they have probably already left, and some might leave, or you will leave them. And even if that hurts, it may be for the better. In this time of crisis, it is where we see people's true colors. Some people are not always what you thought they were, and that's okay. Everything we experience is a lesson, here to teach us something. And to learn important things is probably why we are here in the first place. So all is good, all is as it should be, because we must not forget, we allowed all of this to happen. We created it ourselves, and now we're discovering it, almost like archaeology. Let's view this as a great thing, as a wonderful lesson. Let's be happy and grateful to be alive right now, because then we probably wouldn't have been here in the first place at this particular time. It was time to change the old New World Order power structure And while they still try to cling on and do everything in their power to keep things under total control, they cannot, because the new time has come. The new time is here. We have now entered the new time. This is the time for change. There is a reason why they're censoring truth in such a massive way. There's a reason why so many of you out there crave to know the truth or have been seeking it, researching day and night to understand the meaning of it all and the nature of reality. We salute all of you for wanting to understand. We will do what we can in 2021, and we hope that you'll continue to support us and to watch our shows. We now also have a BitChute and a Brighteon channel, and we'll have a brand new YouTube channel as well, as we've been heavily censored recently and several of our shows has been taken off our channel. And this is of course a really sad and terrible situation. So you can watch some of the shows that were taken off, such as our interview with Dr. Andrew Kaufman, 2 shows with Dr. Judy Mikovits, John Rappaport and the Claire Edwards video, What on Earth is Going On our alternative platforms, including on our website, ageoftruth.tv. And please like our videos, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for notifications. You can also sign up for our newsletter on our website, ageoftruth.tv as well. And you can look forward to our New Year's Eve special on the 31st of September 2020, the last day of the year. On behalf of the Age of Truth TV team, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a happy and wonderful New Year.